Yeah, first of all, my hat's off to Tulsi Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard just demonstrated a level, as I said this morning, of courage, commitment to being just absolutely transparent, which is what this administration has said from the beginning, and just getting to the truth. This very important meeting, it looks like on December 8th, is really the piece of data that I think has now been exposed to really allow everybody to connect the dots. As I said early this morning on my X post, basically I laid back out the plan, which was 8 years of Obama, 8 years of Hillary, and Steve, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation. And so once, enter summer of 2015 and so on and so forth, and Donald J. Trump wins the election, as you well know, in November of 2016, then, all the gates of hell were unleashed by Obama. And that's what we now know. Now, it's not just Obama. Of course, it goes back to the summer of 2016. And actually, what we're learning from this is actually goes back to late 2015, probably December 2015 timeframe. So what I want people to know from this is that there are going to be other names that have never been really exposed, people over at the National Security Agency, others inside of the FBI, others in the CIA that are going to be in big trouble here, because now that we know where it began, and it really did begin with the direction and intention of Barack Obama, that is going to open up so much more evidence. And as I know Tulsi has been doing for a number of months now, they've been culling through all this evidence. And that's why you saw recently the open investigation on Comey and Brennan. That's just the first shot across the bow for what I'm calling either, you can call it a counterpunch or you can call it a counteroffensive. But President Trump, you got to believe he's fully aware of all this. This is why, I think the last few days and maybe weeks, you've seen a level of frustration. And it doesn't mean that, everybody's off the hook on some of the other issues that we're dealing with. But this is the biggest crime in the history of the United States of America. As I said, I think it was yesterday, Steve, that, this is a moment that is really surreal for many people in the U.S. that never felt like we would ever go through or experience a coup. Basically, a coup which would take down a duly elected president of the United States by another individual. Now, I will tell you, and I've said this very publicly, if you're going to stage a coup, you better kill the king. And in this case, they were not able to kill the king, meaning, Donald Trump. And I'm just metaphorically using that because he's not a king. He's the president of the United States, but twice we have seen assassination attempts on him, very public assassination attempts on him. Many people don't know of the other threats against his life. So they were not able to do that. They also, in my case, and I'll speak specifically for me, I went through hell. My family went through hell, but they picked the wrong Irishman and they picked the wrong Irish family, because we knew from the very beginning, and Steve, I don't think we realized when we were first in the White House in the early days of 2017, just how deep these people and how much they were willing to go. And now what we're learning, and I've known this. I've just written just published a book on it called Pardon of Innocence, because Trump had to use his pardon power to pardon an innocent man. Most people think I spent time in jail and was convicted. And, my case was dismissed because of egregious government misconduct. So we now, do I feel vindicated? I will feel vindicated when I see Barack Obama get, have Amen. Handcuffs on, being escorted from his house and being brought into jail. I would say right now, if I were in the Department of Justice, or if I was in the White House, I would demand that the Attorney General immediately take away the passports from these individuals who we know have already been named. And there's some others that have not been named yet. Take away the passports. Do not allow them to leave this country, because I guarantee they're waking up, this morning saying, where can I go? We got to get the hell out of here, because they committed a massive conspiracy to undermine and overthrow the United States of America, the United States government, the president of the United States, and the presidency. And they left a wake in their path that is unprecedented, as Jack, as Pozo just highlighted. I mean, this is so bad. And anyway, what I want to do is I want people to understand that, look, I'm not giving up. We have got now to seek justice. And our rule of law system, Steve, has got to kick in.